Middle of the month already, my good man. But as always, welcome to the Freedom Cage podcast, where we like into a free state of mind each and every page on all Disney's, of course. And to my right, I got my main guy, my ace. My left, my right is weak. Sean, better known as the Senior Man for your socials.
You know.
And me, I'm Kenny, man. I'm also known as King Cat, looking on those socials. But today,
Today's special show is named Dear Mama. We're going to get into a couple of really cool things about our moms, the mothers in our lives. And then we got a nice little twist for you as we go through the middle of the show. So just stay tuned, rock with us. We're sure you're going to have a good time, man. But first, um, last week was Patient Experience Week across the healthcare sector. Um, and if this is your first time joining us, you know what I mean. I do work in the healthcare field. It was really cool to participate in it for the first time, and I've been in this field for 18 years and have never participated in Patient Experience Week. It was amazing to get out there, talk to some of our patients, meet some staff that I've only seen in Zoom boxes, and really connect with the people. You know what I mean. And your boy did get a nice little photo op for the system. You know what I
Yeah,
mean.
that's what's up. That's what's up. Gotta get that updated every quarter, man. Every quarter.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. But yeah, man, I mean, it was really cool. And then this week is even bigger because it is Nurses Week, man. They are the backbone of the healthcare system. Thank you for your commitment to patient care, the utmost patient experience, advocating for yourselves, whether it be compensation or fair opportunity, and just constantly being out there and looking out for future nurses in the field, man. Shout out to you if you're a nurse or you got a friend who's a nurse related to someone who's a nurse, man. This is their week. They are doing some really cool things that I've seen on LinkedIn for all the nurses, man. So shout out to y'all if y'all tuning in.
Shout out to the nurses. Everybody know a nurse, man. Big them up. Big them up.
Definitely, definitely. And it's so crazy because I really wish that I had a better understanding of, the work that nurses do because it's a hell of a field, man. I mean, I may get some slack from my physician friends out there, but don't nobody spend time with a patient like a nurse, bro.
Nope.
Like,
Nope. Doctors in and out says, listen, did the nurse give you what you needed? Awesome. Listen, you got any other questions? They go back to the nurse and she'll let me know if it's a real situation. Outside of that, it's the nurse all day long, man. First person in, last person out, always.
that's a fact. That's a fact, man. But yeah, definitely shout out to all the nurses for
So
sure. For
today,
sure, man,
man,
we gonna get into the mamas, man. You know what I'm saying? If you got love for your mama, which you better.
Big Mama always holding it down. It's funny. I know we was going through like the fond memories of mom and the good times and the bad times. And hey, all jokes aside, I had a wonderful life with my mom. Like, but unfortunately, the life was so wonderful that all I remember is the bad shit. So we're gonna get into it, but she got a funny little track record, as you can say.
Okay, okay. And definitely want to level set, man. We're sending love to all of those whose mothers couldn't be there or who can't be here today or who have mother figures that are not here today, who may
Mm,
be sick. We want to send love, hugs, prayers, and good vibrations to y'all as well, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to honor their memory right now in this moment. So we are not forgetting about y'all either. You know what I mean? Cases, man. Shout out to the teachers, man. I don't know how y'all do it. I swear I don't
I
know how
don't.
y'all do it. He's my son, and sometimes I don't want to deal with him. So I don't know how y'all volunteer to deal with strangers' kids, man. So we appreciate y'all for sure.
Right. Don't get me wrong. The two summer months off is sweet and all, but I don't even know if that's worth it. The other 10 months is brutal. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, shouts to the teachers, man. Couldn't do it without y'all.
And it's the one thing, right? You can't hide when you're on vacation. When you're a teacher, we know when you're on vacation. We got
Mm-hmm,
kids.
mm-hmm,
We know
mm-hmm.
damn well you when you're on vacation. You can't talk about, oh, I'm working. You ain't working.
You lying? You lying?
All right, man. So listen. Like Kenny said, man, we got some fond memories. We got some other memories we're gonna get into. But definitely for me, man, I'm gonna start with some of the fond memories I have with my mom. And definitely when I was younger, man, I gotta say, between like the ages of like 8 years old to like maybe 13, 14, just whenever I sat alone with my mom, she had like really some of the deepest conversations, just asking me like, what did I want to be? And I could have told her I wanted to be the president of the United States. I wanted to go to the moon. My mother felt like I could do anything. You know what I mean? And that was the first day that I found out like my mom could lie to me. Because I knew like it's great that I got all these dreams, but I knew damn well like some of this stuff was just me reaching, like, you know what I mean? But the funniest part, the fondest moments, man, my mother is the most judgmental person on this earth.
Mm.
Let you walk by her wearing something too revealing, wearing something you ain't supposed to, with somebody you ain't supposed to be with, and it turned into gossip central. And I used to sit there, bro, and just hear her go to work on people. But the one place that she did it that caught me off guard was in the church.
Judgmental in church? That's
In
God's
the
house.
church.
That's
In the
God's
church,
house.
bro. I'll never forget it. Me and my mom had the same seat every Sunday when we went to church, bro. And one time, this lady had the nerve to be in my mom's seat. I've never seen my mom go off on somebody in the house of the Lord the way she went off on this lady. And she didn't use one curse word, man. Everything was, don't let the Lord come down in this hand and spike me across your face. Like, it was
that's a threat.
crazy.
That's still a threat. Church or not, that's a threat when you hear it.
I kid you not, bro. I kid you not. And I'm telling, like, my mother, or when we used to sit outside in the front yard and watch people walk by, like, there she go, another man, little hooker. Like,
spicy on the non-Sundays.
Never failed.
I got a question for you. Growing up and watching your mother be judgmental, do you feel any of that has rubbed off in your personal life?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Are you as blatant?
I used to be before I found diversity.
You said before the check started adding up to the DU. Yeah, it was a wow.
yeah, man. It was definitely a growth process for me, man. Like before I got into all this diversity stuff and opening my mind to awareness and different cultures. Yeah, man. I thought the worst of people. I remember being completely naive and ignorant when the Twin Towers fell. And just feeling a terrible way towards that community. But yeah, man, it definitely it rubbed off.
All right. Well, okay. The cool thing is for this generation / your generation, you was able to take I guess the fruit of that labor, corporize it, you know what I'm saying? Make it into something that you can use it every day without losing who you are, but you know what I'm saying, maintaining who you got to be tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So shouts to you, man. That's growth and development. Now Darius know how to be judgmental and the corporate part. So now he got to add his own layer to it when he get over.
Right. And he needs the corporate part. Like you've seen him. He's too honest.
Yeah, that's my man. We gotta keep if anybody gonna keep it true with me in the room, it's gonna be Darius. You gotta keep him that way, man. I don't never want him to change, bro.
How about you, man? I know my sister funny. Come on, bro.
She funny, man. Listen, like I said, hey, your mom, she gave me 1,000 highlights. I feel as far as things she did for me, as far as getting shoes I shouldn't have got, turning phone calls from teachers into smaller conversations than it could have been. You know what I mean? Like, you know, she could have took everything from me that day, like, you know what I mean, Genesis and all, but she chose not to. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna bring up some bad times with mom just seeing her do things I didn't expect her to do. For example, you know, right around the corner over on Woodruff, way back, McDonald's was on the corner. Me and mom walking to McDonald's, regular day, right? But we jaywalking, right? And nobody in Brooklyn's waiting for this for the light, right? So we cross, we're in the middle of the street now, waiting for traffic to pass by. As one of the cars are passing by, bomber clock, middle of the street, my bush. But there was a red light ahead. So he couldn't go too far. Mommy took that as a threat, right? So she's walking super fast, holding my hand. I'm kind of following her, like, where are we going? Like, McDonald's is that way. Like, knocking on this man window here. Yeah, middle of the street, but she grabbed him by his shirt, Sean. Like, yo, Sean, she grabbed him by his shirt, middle of the street. Oh, bro, I'm out here for some french fries and maybe some nuggets. Like, she grabbed him by his shirt. Don't you ever, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I don't know how to drive yet, but I think he had the right of way being in the car in the street, and us not supposed to be there, you know what I mean? But she's pulling him, dragging him up, and I said, don't you ever in your life, and then pulls him back in. He just pulled up. I'm just like, so we getting these milkshakes? Are we not getting these? You know what I'm saying? She's just like, nah, people just so rude, baby, but it's all right. We're gonna be all right. I'm like, all right, we're gonna be all right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Little shit like that stuck with me. She's like, don't take shit from nobody, even if they're in the right. I'm like, damn, that's a wild thing I'm gonna have to remember the rest of my life. But here we are. But outside outside of that, man, mom was awesome, man. She just a lot of funny memories.
So now every time you walk into McDonald's with your kids, you giggle a little bit, like.
I always giggle at McDonald's with the kids because it's like y'all know the half. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all upscale now with drive through. You know what I'm saying? We ain't had that luxury back then. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But similar to you, there was one part where my mom didn't lie, but she stretched the truth all the way till I was about 18, and I needed a driver's license. I'll give it a quick backdrop. Going into school, third, fourth, fifth grade. Hey, we need the birth certificate, health card, all that. Enter your kid shit, right? She entered my birth certificate, gave it to him. Kenny Lee. That was my name, bro. You know the story. Right? I was Kenny Lee my whole life. So it's time for me to get an ID. Right? I was like, hey, DMV said they need my birth certificate. Can't find it. All right, cool. Go to the security building, file for a new one, give them my social. Here's your birth certificate. I'm like, this birth certificate isn't matching the name that I know myself as. They go, no, this is the name on that birth certificate. It says Nelson. I'm like, I'm sorry. My last name is Lee. I have my high school ID. Like, here it is. This is my face. And they're like, that's cool, fam. That social security card number you gave us is this name. Is this something you want to tell us that's not true? I'm like, let me talk to my mom first. You sound like you're a lot more official than my mom is. So let me go talk to her first. She goes, all right, I'll let you know. All right, you'll let me know. So I had to sit on down, see what this was about. She goes, you kind of had two birth certificates. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? She goes, I had the one that said Lee on it, which was my maiden name. And then there was the other one that the hospitals had that had your father's name on. I'm like, Mom, I'm 18. You telling me I'm a junior? by name, right? Like I'm a junior. Like she was like, yeah. I was like, she was like, we went our separate ways. I figured. I was like, you figured what, baby? I was like, yo, I had to get my diploma updated to like Lee hyphen Nelson. On my football jersey said Lee on the back. I was like, yo, Ma, you straight up lied to me? She's like, nah, it made sense. I didn't want you asking no questions. I was like,
damn, bro.
I was like, but now I got mad questions and I'm smarter now. Like you had a better chance getting this off when I was a kid. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, shouts to Mom, man. Love her to death. But we got some funny stories.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Between snatching up the dude in the car and the last name change, this is giving mafia vibes, man. This is giving like we had to
your
go
sister. Like, family ties, bro. Family matters, man. I'm not looking at you funny. Like interesting. What did she teach you that she didn't teach me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's Mom's, man. That's Mom's.
Oh man, no, yeah, I love Tiny, man. I love it. The other funny thing I think with my mom was she always was very like giving to people, but man, she would not let you forget that she did that shit for you, bro. Like she would not.
I'll bring her upper.
What? She would not let you forget. Like she take you on a whole spree, make you feel like $1,000,000. The day you don't get her some water out the fridge, all I did was give you life, buy you sneakers, put that game in your room. It's like, all right, woman, I'll get you the water with the ice. Like, chill out.
How many cubes you want, man? Come on, I got you. This is we arguing over petty stuff. I get the ice. That's funny,
man. For sure. But the dopest thing about my mom was what she taught me about money. And it was really just saving. She wasn't no like finance savant or anything like that. But she always taught me about always having your own money and how not to splurge it on nothing too crazy. The only problem is after a while she ain't follow her own advice. But I got the foundational principles of what she was trying to teach me when I was young. You know what I mean? And you know how it's funny. That's how it is with your parents, right? You take little pieces. And some pieces you throw away, right? You ain't really running up on nobody in a car right now. Shit can go differently now.
I need that. You know what I mean? That's what's up. Okay, I got a question for you. When was the first time she held you down in a moment you felt you really needed her, that you wasn't expecting it?
I gotta say it was when I had my first real car accident, man. It was definitely when I had my first real car accident. guy cut me off crazy, man. Went up a sidewalk, damn near into a house. Car was totaled. And bro, it was like the worst week or two of my life. You know how when you ain't got no car when you were a teenager and you just see everybody just driving by, even somebody that's in a little poop hut, you're like, at least they got wheels. Like I'm stuck here. I can't go nowhere. I'm like in my early 20s, matter of fact, not a teenager, early 20s. And yeah, I was just in a rut. Like I was just in a fucking rut. And she was like, listen, what I mean? We'll figure this out. Let's go to the dealer. She like finagled a bagel and was able to get me into another car, man. That was the first time. That was one of the first times. And then I know there was another one. Listen, and the ladies are gonna love this one, right? Because they love to joke about when we get sick. But when I was a kid, I remember the first time I got strep, I thought I was gonna die. Like, I'll never forget it. I had went to go shopping with a friend, and I thought I just had like a regular flu. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna go home, whatever. I do all the normal stuff, right? The hot tea, throw a little rum in it, have some soup. Bro, the next 12 hours, I was like, yo, this shit ain't right. You know what I mean? I couldn't eat nothing. Yeah, like my throat was swollen, everything. So I go to the hospital and mom's is just looking at me and I'm like, Mom, I'm dying. You know what I'm saying? I'm dying. Like, I can't eat nothing. I can't swallow. What am I going to do? She's like, nigga, calm down. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to test you. You know what I mean? They're going to make sure you're all right. And of course, I realized I just had strep throat. I ended up being okay. But the whole point of it was every time I thought life was just over for me, like I must have been the most emotional young black boy she ever saw. My mom always made sure that she reminded me that everything was going to be okay, even in the toughest times. So that's how she's always held me down for real.
Shout out to moms, man. As far as like holding me down, like I don't know if I can have a pinpoint moment where she's like picked me up out of a situation where I just could not have gotten out without her. It feels outside of birth, you know what I mean, and everything else that was great in my life for her, of course. But I don't know if I have a specific situation where she's pulled me out. Like it's a couple situations where I felt like because of her, they got calls, and then we had to find a way to get out of it. I know you had a similar car example where she was able to get you a new one, but my very first car, 1990 white Maxima, loved it to death. 3 weeks into having it, mom goes, "Oh, can I borrow your car?" I go, "All right, you give me life. How bad could this be?" Like, so yeah. I gave her my car keys. She took Christina with her, my little sister. Went to the supermarket. About 15 minutes later, Christina calls me, bro. Yeah, what's up? Hey sis, what's going on? I assumed she's like, "Hey, what you want from aisle 3?" You know what I'm saying, at the supermarket. And she's like, yo, bro, half your car's on the sidewalk and half's in the street.
What?
That sounds like a weird way to park. Like, what do you mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? She's like, yo, this car came out of nowhere, T-boned us. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Half my car's on the street? Half on the sidewalk, bro? She's like, yeah, he came out of nowhere. Like, the light was yellow for us, but it was so red for him, yada, yada, yada. So, like, that whole week, mom was just looking at me like, yo, I'm talking catfish every night, oxtails in the morning. Oh, she was making meals that made no sense. And I'm like, Mom, it's not like it's the middle of June. Like, we don't need the whole Thanksgiving spread. She said, yeah, but I just feel so bad about the car. I know you saved up for it. And it came with the booming system too, man. I was a man for like 2.5 business weeks. Like, I was like, you know what I mean? But she was just like, she just felt bad, but she's like, listen, we're gonna get it back. We're gonna get it working again. And we did. It was a total loss. It was over. But she let me know like there's gonna be, like there will be a grass greener situation as far as material things are involved. So from that weird lesson I did learn from her, like, hey, material things can be replaced. We can always make things better the next time we go around. And now we know what to do next time there is a situation. I'm like, so you're telling me next time you need my car to say no? She said, I didn't say that, but you know what I'm saying. I was like, all right, I'm gonna take what I need to take from this, but all right. You know what I mean? She hasn't asked for my car since though.
That sounds about right, man. I mean, once you take responsibility for something and then something goes wrong, man, it's hard to ask for it again, man. It really is. It's hard to ask for it again, bro.
Thanks.
Yeah, man. So I remember, and this is probably one of the when you used to just be pacing. You know what I mean? You would pace in front of your mom's room back and forth because you just wanted to ask her something, but you was waiting for her to kind of like look at you and call you, and you're like, "Oh yeah, hey, how you doing?" You know what I'm saying? What do you want? And then they're like, "You're pacing in front of my room. What do you want?" You know what I mean? Like, so I remember doing that vividly whenever I'd probably be trying to like ask to spend the night by your house or some shit like that. Just just kind of like walking by the room. Like there's only so many places I could be going, right? After her room was the kitchen, and leaving the other way was going back to the bathroom or my room. So there wasn't much I could have been doing. So
Many
it
options.
was, yeah, man. So it was always funny when she would just be like, "What do you want?" It's like, "Well, I gotta want something." I was just making sure you good. Like barely here, you work 2 jobs, and when I see you, I want to see you. I want to make sure you good.
She read right through that bullshit. She's like, listen, man. She's like, what you need, bro? Please talk to me quick. Because my pacing as a kid was a little different because it was like, for whatever reason, my mother had a knack of knowing as soon as I hit the bed, my head was on the pillow and the blanket got right up under my chin. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my maximum comfort level is reached. And I get a, Kenny! You always ignore the first one as a child. That's your job. You're not supposed to respond on that one, right? So you ignore it. Your name gets a little louder. Untuck the blanket, get out the bed, walk all the way to the room. Hey, Ma, what's going on? She's like, hit that light switch for me, baby. Ma, that's all you need? Yeah, baby, that's it. Thank you so much. Yeah. Like, when I was over here before I went to bed, I asked if you need anything. You said no, light on, everything. Yep. She's like, yeah, I ain't need it then, baby. Now I do. I'm like, you ain't want to get up. She said, you said something? Nah, I ain't saying nothing. Good night, Mom. Love you. You know what I'm saying? So my pace was different. I was trying to make sure I ain't have to come back. You know what I'm saying? And I had to come back every time anyway. So we all pace for different reasons, man. But whether we need something or we know they're going to need something, the pace always happens as a child, man.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. And I make my son turn off the light, go get water. I get it now. I totally get it now. Like, it makes perfect sense. You know what I mean? You've got yourself your own little best friend that just does what you tell them to do because they have to.
Slash slave. Yeah. I mean, somebody got to do this shit. You know what I mean? I know Noble said I do that to my daughter. Oh, see, you know what I mean? Hey, man, some fruit don't roll too far from the tree, man. I've called my middle child to get the remote the other day, and it was about two couches away from me. I was like, can't reach it. Too cozy. Oh man, yeah, man. It's a rite of passage, man. You got to go through these steps in life.
Listen, some traditions have to be passed down. You know what I mean? And it's only right? All they got to do is go to school, be good, and come home. Okay, now you just got to bring me water and turn off the light. Wow, you know what I mean? Like responsibility. It's not that crazy. It's not that crazy. Mm-hmm. All right, man. So just giving our moms the definite respect that they deserve, man. And then of course, the mothers in our lives, of course, our wives who are amazing mothers, man. Appreciate what y'all do every single day because we get that it is not easy from the minute you gave us children to just, being the amazing women that you are every day. We know we don't tell y'all this every day because half the time you're telling us what to do. But we want you to know that today we appreciate you. You know what I'm saying?
So much. But they don't. What they did tell my wife when we got married was, "Hey, one day you're gonna have kids. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be dope." But what they didn't tell her was that she was leaving the church with a grown kid already. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So now that we got 3, she's like, I got 3 kids, and I got 3 kids. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, Jen got 4. You know what I'm saying? Like one I mean, at least one of them kind of helped with the bills. You know what I'm saying? But she got 4 of them. You know what I mean? So shouts to her, man. Couldn't do it without you. Love you to death.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, yeah. It's like that. It's like that.
Mm. Do you feel you're on the kid list sometimes when when shit
Oh,
go south
definitely.
at the house?
Definitely. There's times when she come in and catch me and Darius, and we both look at each other like, oh shit, I think she mad.
He's like, listen, I'm gonna throw you in the fire first, son. We'll see what happens. We'll see if you make it out. Then I'll show face.
Like
Oh,
she like love you. She won't hurt you, but she'll hurt me, man. So you
yeah,
gotta
shit.
take this L.
You gotta take this out for the team. It's a team loss. Oh
Definitely,
shit,
definitely, man.
that's funny.
So we thought a good twist tonight would be to think about some very famous TV moms, movie moms out there that probably were a big part of our childhood, or even a part of our lives now through some of the TV shows out there. And we have to start with the infamous Claire Huxtable from the Cosby's, man, Felicia Rashad, bro. This was the first time for me that I saw a black woman who was being depicted in such a highlight and such a prestigious family. It was amazing to see
Mhm.
everything that she did, man. And she's still such a really good actress, Felicia Rashad. But the role that she played as Claire Huxtable, man, that holding that family down while Bill was just being Bill. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
or pre-drugs. You know what I mean? But yeah, Claire Huxtable, she might have been the role model mom as far as black kids growing up in the neighborhood where mom went to work, came back, still took care of everything somehow. You know what I'm saying? But she was the glue of the family, so it always worked out in that regard. But yeah, she might have been the first real mom role model that you like. Yeah, I think I need a wife like her when I get older. You know what I'm saying? Like she was that kind of person for sure.
Sure. Facts, man. And then we go over to Family Matters, man. I don't think Harriet Winslow got enough credit for the role that she played in Family Matters. And it was interesting in looking her up today. Seems like she actually left the show. I don't even. And it was funny. I was arguing with somebody the other day, like they didn't change the mother on Family Matters. That was Fresh Prince of Bel Air. They was like, no, I think they changed the mother on Family Matters. Turns out she left because there was just way too much focus on Steve Urkel.
I didn't know she left though.
Me
I knew,
neither.
it's funny. I do know at one point they had a younger daughter that just kind of disappeared. Like I do remember that, but
Mhm.
I didn't recall her no longer. I think they tricked us where people would be calling up to Harriet upstairs and somebody talk back, and we just assume it was
Could be.
Harriet. You know what I'm saying? But
Could be.
they tricked us.
Yeah.
They said I've been like that show.
Yeah, man, for sure. And then of course, you know what I mean, we gotta go over the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, the original Aunt Vivian, Janet Hubert. This was amazing because what I mean, like granted she wasn't directly Will's mom, you know what I
Mhm.
mean, but she had the other two kids there, Carlton, and I can't remember the other girl's name. But
Ashley.
on Vivian, Ashley. All right. So on Vivian was no joke. She was no joke. She kept it 100. Anytime anybody ever tried to step to her, the kids or Uncle Phil, she was right there in their face, man. And the infamous scene in the ballet studio where she did all that work and went outside and passed out. That's
She
that's
went in.
that's the typical strong woman that you
Mhm.
see, man. They'll be ripping and running, bouncing around. They will not let you see them sweat, cry, or anything. And then as soon as they get in the corner, it's like, oh my God. Like, but
Every
it
time.
was
Every
amazing.
time. Every time.
Hillary and Ashley. There we go. Yeah.
And it's funny. Like everyone loves the original Aunt Viv because it's who you grew up on. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel bad for the backup Aunt Viv that came in because when she wasn't dark skin, so now everybody's like, oh, it's a dark skin, light skin thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But long story short, I guess finding out now, fast forward, her and Will had actual off the camera static. But
Mm.
the new Aunt Viv, who was just an actress filling a role in a prominent black comedy show in the mid '90s. She stepped in and she kind of did her job, but she always got a bad rep just because she was the backup. I always felt bad for her, but even though in my heart I said, "Hey, I love the original Aunt Viv too," but I'm sorry you gotta go through this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I just want to shoot her some bell too. Happy Mother's fictional Mother's Day to her too, man. She deserves it. We
And then
swapped her out like nobody can.
yo, seriously, man, we just turned on the TV one day and it was like, who is this? Like
No
Uncle Phil
transition,
just out here
nothing.
cheating.
He said
Yo,
they
man.
think nobody's gonna notice. It's like, you know what I mean?
That's
Funny
a
stuff.
fact. Then to bring it kind of to modern day and pun intended, Modern Family, man. I think Claire Dunphy has got to be the probably one of the funniest moms that
Yes,
I've ever seen on national television, man.
absolutely.
What is her real name? I know I got it here. Julie Bowen. She's been in
Mm.
plenty of other movies. She is hilarious. And this show, man, I think it doesn't get enough credit for how it ties together the diversity and it also ties together some of the wildest shit that can happen in a family. But
Mhm.
Claire Dunphy, man, like if there was ever organized chaos, Claire Dunphy would be the queen for sure, man. Shout out to
She's
Modern Family.
she's super funny. She is super funny. Claire Dunphy. She's super funny on the show. Like I like
Mhm.
that show a lot. Al Bundy.
That's a fact, man. And then listen, man, I'm sorry if y'all about to start shedding some tears, but this show definitely always had me thinking, who's cutting onions, man? This is us. We cannot pass today's Dear Mama without talking about Rebecca, played by Mandy Moore. This is us, man. I mean, that show was just it brought the whole country together and made us cry every time that it came on, man, and the way that they just tied everything together. She was definitely one of those good fictional moms. That was really cool.
Damn, I got a sad confession, unfortunately. Me and my show record isn't the best track
Oh
record.
my god.
Um, this is us is on the watch list.
Oh my
Um, is we just
god.
haven't. You know what I mean? But it's on the list.
All right, we're gonna keep this thing rolling.
All right,
A
all right.
Quiet Place. Now I had to jump to the movies here, man. A Quiet Place. The mother in that movie, Evelyn Abbott, played by Emily Blunt. There's several scenes as a mom that really amazed me, right? The scene where she had to protect her kids in that basement and she stepped on that fucking nail in the steps and was able to conceal that pain because she didn't want them things to kill her babies. That's a mother right there. I don't think
Sean, look at me. Sean, look at me, look at me right here. I step on the nail barefoot, everybody dying. I'm not. I can't. If my quiet was the meter as far as you know what I mean, maintaining like everyone's heartbeat rolling still, my G, bro, barefoot Lego. I think one person would have to die. Like, let alone a nail, a rusty nail. It was wild dirty when she stepped into it. I was
bro.
like, oh, that shit went like a good inch deep. Pause. I was like, damn, she's
Yeah.
nah. There's no muffle in the world that would have kept me quiet on that one. No thanks.
I
Everybody
hear
gotta
you,
go.
brother. I hear you, man. A Lego, the corner of the bed, like, yeah, everybody gonna die. Pew pew. Like yeah, like
Word.
yo, I'm telling you, man. And it was just it's funny because Darius wanted to rewatch it. He watched the first one with Shay, and then we watched the second one together. And I was like, yo, that's a dope ass mom, man. Like everything that she did, like she wasn't with the shits, man. She was protecting her babies no matter what happened, man.
Yeah,
Shout out
yeah.
to her.
She overly held it down.
Hell yeah.
No, Noble said, "I can stub my toe in the middle of the night." He said, "I can't stub my toe in the middle of the night without screaming." Everybody got to wake up. Everybody got to wake up.
Yeah, that's it.
Talk to me about Tom Brady and his roast over on Netflix. Did you get to see it?
Yeah, man, it was actually really cool. I think he had a good guest of people. It was hosted by Kevin Hart. I think the gist of it was really just to like highlight a lot of the controversial shit that he's been through. Um, and I think it was really how they highlighted, some of the like the funny things that with the deflate gate and then also with going through stuff with Giselle. I thought Kevin definitely opened it up really good. Jeff Ross, they had him there who's, constantly doing the roast. He's like the biggest guy that they always have there all the time. So he was talking about how Bill Belichick's dog stepped on the keyboard, and that's how they picked Brady with the what is it, the 166 pick or something like that. Um, Drew Bledsoe, he tried to like leverage the fact of like being on stage and this is how run round one feels like. Try to throw a slight at Tom Brady that way. Nikki Glazer was actually really funny. I mean, she definitely went in on Kevin Hart. It was talking about how he literally makes like short films and how he never says no to any movies. But
Nope.
the one joke she made that had me on, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But what the one joke that had me was where she talked about um Aaron Hernandez having a ring too, but the ring was around his neck. Yeah. Yeah, that one was dark, man. Like when she went on that one, that was crazy. I thought the Hernandez jokes was a little bit too much.
Yeah,
Um,
Tanya was just asking about it. She said, "What'd you think about the Hernandez jokes?"
yeah.
Is it always going to be too soon?
You know what's crazy? The roasts are like that. I know they had said that was it Aaron Hernandez's fiance. She was given like a whole bunch of like she didn't like it because he's gone and it shouldn't have been like that. But yeah, man, it was bad. It was bad when they went in on Hernandez. Um, Randy Moss was a dud. I thought he could have hired better writers. Um, Kim Kardashian, man, she went as far as comparing one of Tom Brady's hairdos to her stepdad, aka Caitlyn Jenner. So that was
Uh,
wild. They brought Ron Burgundy out. That was cool. He was the first one to reference that Tom Brady was Eli Manning's bitch, and then he proceeded to try to make the crowd chant like Tom Brady's Eli Manning's bitch. Um, and then who else we got here? Andrew Schultz, man. I've been dying to get a ticket to one of his comedy shows. He is hilarious, man. Um, he was like the reason why Tom Brady had Dana there because Dana was gonna teach him how to screw Brazilians out of their purse, and since Tom Brady's going through that divorce with
ooh,
Giselle, you want to screw
yes.
out of half our money. Ain't
Uh,
nobody screwed Brazilians out of their money more than Dana White, man. So that shit was
Yikes!
crazy.
Yikes! All right. Tom Brady. Yeah, man. The most decorated one to do it, man. I'm pretty sure everybody had a fake joke for him, but that's what's up, man. I'm happy I was able to laugh at Kanye's expense. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that
um,
Kanye joke was hilarious, man. And then
hmm,
with the simple fact of him talking about how he owns the Bills, the Colts and the Bills. He made the joke about Bills Mafia, talking about how you're a mafia with no rings. I don't know how Griselda's gonna feel about that, but yeah,
mm,
man, it was a cool roast, man. It was good. If you haven't seen it, man, check it out.
all right, all right. One other thing that I did catch on Netflix was Mr. Jesus Christ, Cat Williams, Woke Folk.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was a good one. He had a really good stand up. If you didn't catch that, he had a couple good moments, couple cringeworthy ones, but hey, we're here now. You know what I'm saying? But it was a really good show. If you haven't caught that one, please do. Good stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. This is the section now where we get into the FCP Sports Corner.
We want to talk Nick Pacers first, because
Uh,
man, I'm happy the rest was in our pocket last night, baby.
yeah, man. Yeah, it was that was a tough game, man. That was a tough game to watch. Knicks Pacers was good. Um, I gotta admit, man, the Pacers. I don't know how fast. I don't know how much the Knicks are gonna be able to keep up this pace. Um, them boys were running, but you could tell last night. I was just wondering how. First of all, Jalen Brunson was off the chain, man. Jalen Brunson
Yeah,
showed up. He did his damn job.
facts.
But Tyrese Halliburton, man, he's got to try to at least make it interesting. Like he was just moving around. He didn't look like he wanted to shoot. After a while, I was like, dude, if you're trying to sell the game, you're doing a terrible job. But you know what I mean? He looked off, man. He looked real off. But nonetheless, man, the Villanova boys are nothing to play with. They showed up, they showed out. And yeah, I mean the referees, man, there was a point where they called like I think 4 or 5 straight fouls on the Knicks. And I
Yeah,
was like, oh shit, like they trying to get the
and
Pacers to win this one?
And that was the last foul you seen.
Yeah.
Because everything after that was bogus. It was weird. You know, what I mean? Hey, I'm happy it worked out the way it did. You know, shout out to the Knicks, but it really could have been turned around another way on mad occasions.
Yeah, man. But the big thing for it, man, Jalen Brunson, man, he's been a beast. You know what I mean? 4 straight games with 40 points. ESPN talked about he scored over 210 points in the last 5 games, which is the most points scored over 5 game span in the playoffs since MJ in '93. So that was crazy. 23 from Josh Hart, 25 from Dante DiVincenzo. Man, Indiana, I don't know, man. I think they gave it all they got in that first game, man. Like,
I think that's it. No game plan adjustments.
I really don't, man. It's because to me, it's like the Knicks are just too much. Like, if there was a game to steal, it was that game one. It was really that game one, and they just came out, and it seemed like they just didn't have it, man. They didn't have it, and then now it's just like, what do you do next game? It's the same guys up against the same guys. It's like, yo, if Tyrese Halliburton comes out and doesn't want to score again, you're in the same fucking predicament. Like, I don't know.
Facts. But listen, man. Any visitor coming to the Garden, those lights are different, man. It's a lot brighter. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's that platform, that stage is not like during the season. It's already a lot. You know what I'm saying? But come playoff time, like you see Fat Joe sitting right there next to Spike Lee, and it's like, it's like there's a lot happening on this front row. You know what I'm saying? Like playing in LA, you kind of get a glimpse of it or a feel for it. But playing in the Garden is another animal from an outsider walking in. So I assume for game 2 they will be a bit more mentally prepared for the environment, which I think was a killer for them because once the crowd drowns you out and you and the team just aren't clicking right now, like everything felt like it's going downhill. But I think a night or two off, regrouping, getting some fresh Gatorade, it should be back into it. But
the funny thing is they were in the game though. Like I hear what you're saying. If they were down by like 10, 15, they were in the game. It was that you don't call that last screen, and we're probably talking about something completely different. That's why I'm nervous for them because the Knicks, man, like it's really just like if Tyrese does not come to score next game, what do you do differently? Like you're not gonna stop Brunson. You gotta hope either Josh Hart or DiVincenzo have a bad game. Not to mention McBride didn't really get off the way he could. Anunoby didn't really get off the way he could. So it's scary, man. I don't know. I don't know.
Brunson and the Villanova call. We'll see what he could do. See what we can do in game 2.
Yes, sir, man. And then we got Timberwolves in Denver. This is the scariest series I've seen in a while, man. I have never seen a championship team get handled this way the very next season.
Yeah, they're playing Baby Jordan and the top defense in the league. I'm not sure what people were expecting, but when we got 2 bigs just clogging up the shit, Gobert didn't even play last night. Like, you know what I'm saying? But when they got 2 7-footers in the paint clogging that up, and harassing defense on Murray all game long, like I don't know what the game plan is for that. No one's had one all season long, but I'd love to see what their update to this is because I don't see it right now. I don't see it. Who's gonna stop who? Who's matching up on who?
I've never seen this, man. They would have never Kobe would have never. You know what I mean? And it's not even just pure talent. It's just some of those plays, like a lot of them were really good defensive plays, but some of those plays I saw in the first quarter, man, the cat was manhandling Jokic down there, man. Like it was like. Those are calls that Jokic usually gets. So it's been very interesting to watch. It was interesting to watch game 2. Game 1, I got nothing to say. That was clean. You know what I mean? Yeah. That was clean. Yeah. That beginning of game 2, it was like pickup ball out there. I was like, if you're gonna let them play like that, this is gonna be a different type of playoff series. This is really gonna be about who's the bigger man out there, not even the better. But yeah, man, Jamal Murray, he got to figure it out.
He can't play 2 people. It felt like they're playing 6-on-5 at some point. Because like Murray's like, yo, how am I double and nobody's open? Like something's up. You know what I'm saying? I can't be getting double and nobody be open for this pass at the same time. Something has to give. But you seen his frustration. It leaked out on the second quarter. He's throwing shit on the court, which is very bush league kind of situation. Like I get it. Get a defender chance. We're gonna give you some leeway. So it was weird. They didn't. There were no texts. There was no fouls called. I'm not sure if the ref seen who did it when it was done. But Tanya's telling us in the chat now he was fined like $100K for his antics, which makes sense. And I rather the fine than a suspension. Take a couple checks, some game checks from him. It is what it is. We'll see you game 3. Hopefully you guys can get a win over in Minnesota. But let him play. Let him play for sure.
Yeah, man. I mean, Edwards shows up, Cat shows up. I don't know, man. This is looking really reminiscent of the 2012 OKC team, man. The first round, they beat Nowinski and the Mavs. Second round, they beat Kobe's Lakers. If they get past these Nuggets, man, this is scary hours. This is really scary hours. And we talked about this a little bit the last couple weeks since these playoffs started. These young boys, they're not afraid. They're ready. Their teams are homegrown. They're ready. The coaches are different. And these are coaches that, they preach this philosophy of team and defense. And I strongly stand by what I said before, man. I think we're seeing the end of these super teams, and we're going to see more teams start to really invest in the growth of the team chemistry.
Yeah. It's needed. You can keep the roster young because everybody in the West is young. I believe Palenka was saying it for the West. Everybody Magic Johnson was saying it for the West. Everybody in the West is young or getting young, and LA is just their roster just doesn't show that anymore. So they got to figure out what they need to do in order to get young and get rid of who you got to get rid of in order to get young. You know what I mean? But Minnesota, OKC, they're definitely doing it right. Homegrown, keeping the 3-4 young guys on the squad, growing them up like you just said, keeping them together, letting them gel together, be a team. You know what I mean? Get that instead of just kind of throwing high price players together, hoping it works out. This is the only way that truly works out in the NBA. Shouts to them. But yeah, okay, shit. Is it too soon for OKC Minnesota talk? Because that's gonna be the series. Too soon?
Yeah, because OKC and Doncic, OKC still got to get through Kyrie and Doncic, man. That ain't gonna be no easy feat. You know what I mean? They're gonna have to really come with it because they're dealing with a force that I don't think they've dealt with before. And playoff Doncic and playoff Kyrie are two totally different animals. I think that game is about to start if it hasn't started already. I think my Celtics handled their business. Thank you, Tanya, for giving me the score. But yeah, man, I can't wait to see that, man. Kyrie's in a very unique position. Doncic and him are just having fun right now and coming off of beating the Clippers, who's supposed to go far. I can see them stealing one in OKC, man. If it's not game 1, it might be game 2, for sure.
You think experience outweighs, youth in that one?
Experience and talent. You know what I mean? I think, OKC has Shy, but Dallas has Doncic and Kyrie. So, you know what I mean? Like, granted, Jalen Williams is no slouch. Shet, he can ball, and they got some other guys on there that can put the ball in the hoop. But you talking about two of the most prolific scorers in the league right now who could drop 30 apiece in no time. Like, I think when it was a game 5 or game 6 against the Clippers, Kyrie had like 2-4 points at the half, ended with like 27. So, I mean, it's going to be scary hours for them, for sure.
We shall see. All right.
Yes, sir. And then going over to the awards, man, this week, Wembanyama, as we thought, received the Rookie of the Year award. And then today, Defensive Player of the Year went to Rudy Gobert. So,
if you're an NBA player, would you miss a playoff game to witness the birth of a child?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. NBA, absolutely. That's funny. NBA, I would miss a game for the birth of a child. NFL, I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to video chat y'all from the locker room, man, because we only get about 20 games, man, on the NFL side. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Like, at least it's a best of 7 series. If I miss game 2, hey, it's all right, man. We're gonna get them next time. You know what I mean? But it's really we need this Sunday, baby. So I'm gonna need you to hold it down Like, you know what I'm saying? Keep me in prayer. I'll be there ASAP. But I gotta play this playoff game.
No doubt, no doubt.
So
On the WNBA side, man, Gatorade signs Asia Wilson to a multi-year deal. I know we talked a lot about Caitlin Clark and her deal with Nike. So you see Asia Wilson finally, getting her just due, which she knew she would. But
Mhm.
it's always good to see. Um, the WNBA expansion team that's going to Golden State, they hired Ohema Nayanin as their GM. She spent 5 years as an assistant general manager with the New York Liberty, also a director and manager of basketball operations there. So, with her extensive knowledge working in USA basketball, she brings that to this expansion team. Her tenure officially begins May 13th. So you can see they're finally starting to put some money into the WNBA, man. The team will get the chance to begin competing next year. So there's going to be an expansion draft towards the end of this year so that they can fill out their roster to be ready for next year's season. That's going to start. They'll be playing at the Chase Center. Um, WNBA opening double header for the first time will be shown on Disney. So if you got Disney and you are a WNBA fan, you can check out the opening games happening there. The Fever are playing the Sun and Mercury are playing the Aces. It's also going to be available on ESPN Plus and ESPN2. And just keeping the WNBA and seeing the investment starting to come back into the league, chartered flights will start now as soon as this season for the ladies, man. So, the travel for them was always really trash, and there was always questions about investing money into the sport. When are they going to do that? It's looking like that's happening this year, so it's really good news for them.
That's nice. Caitlin in the league. First order of business is chartered flights and televised games. We need them. We need them both. You know what I'm saying? For us, in order for it to expand, you gotta make better accommodations for not only the audience to watch it, but for the players to make sure they get there safely without other hassle to worry about. You know what I mean? But it's always a step in a good direction.
Yes, sir. And you know how we always try to close things out. We talk about like new movies, TV shows, and music that's out there. There's a particular song by R&B singer Friday called "Without You" that's out there right now, man. This song is probably one of the most emotional songs that I've heard in a long time. And when you hear a song and it really like touches you, it's like, wow, okay, that's crazy. The video, bro, is even more intense. You know what I mean? He's in a funeral home and he is definitely very passionately singing this song. You know what I mean? So trust me, if you are going through an emotional time, it's definitely a good song. But be prepared because tear jerker, man, especially if you watch the video with it.
Hmm. Yeah, people got away from the sad video. It's always the flashy, the extravagant portion of the video when they do it now. More so the braggadocious version of a video. That was Friday. That was Friday, Keith. Name of the song called "Without You." But I think the last Ted Jerker video I recall, shit, was it Aaron Hall? Maybe "I Miss You." That
Mm.
I think that was with the pregnant wife at the time. Things didn't work out. Sad ass video. But that might have been the last like sad video that really like jogs my memory. Everybody else is on a boat, jumping up a yacht, big pimping lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like spinning cheese, all that good shit. But people don't do it
Yeah,
no more. People don't do it no more.
no doubt. Oh man, just some closing thoughts as we round up out of here, man. Next week, man, we will have our special live dad series with a special guest, man, Coach Red from Bigger Than Basketball. If you just started checking us out last year or even this year, if you just started checking us out, we had him as a guest last year, and he told us a lot about what his Bigger Than Basketball program is doing for the kids, for the youth, man. He's responsible for a lot of these high school kids that are turning into college phenoms and so on and so forth. And I can only imagine where he's taken the company since we last spoke to him. Any last things on your end, brother?
Man, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there for this weekend coming up, of course. Shouts to the missus, love you much. Shouts to Mom Dukes. Just shouts to all the moms out there, man. Keep doing your thing. If you're not doing your thing, we know you are. We just don't see it. You know, you know what I'm saying? But shouts to y'all anyway.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. Shout out to my wife, my mom, man. Love you all both dearly. My mother-in-law, you are so special. Thank you for being you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the show where you are now released back into your regularly scheduled programming. Corporate life, parental life, entrepreneurship, whatever it is that you do, we salute you. I'm Senor Lee,
Can't cat, Nick.
and see you next pay week where we lock back in to a free state of mind.